The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the February 15th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that, well, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 16 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on it at 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, well, we've got you covered there, too. Go ahead and let those fingers do the walking. That means go ahead and send me an email. Send it to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject heading, if you would be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, in our Tiger's Den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to Les Show. Right now, we got all the U.S. indices trading to the upside. The leader, percentage-wise, is the semis. They're up 4%. That's where we're going to start here momentarily. The Dow is up 344, 1%. The S&P 52, 1.25%. NASDAQ 235, 1 6/10. Russell 44, 2.2% out there. Gold's off $17. That's down 0.9%. Silver's off 2% plus, 51 cents to the downside, 23.30. Light sweet crude off 369. She traded 91.77. Leading the charge dollar-wise, the upside is Booking Holdings, 85 buckaroonies, followed by Monolithic Power Systems, 41 bucks. That's 9%. Tesla 40, nearly 5%. Mercado Libre up 37 bucks. That's 3%. To the downside, Avis Budget Card off 22 bucks or 11%. MedPace Holdings 32 bucks, 18%. Charles River Labs down 17 bucks, that's 5%. And Omnicell is off 7.5%, that's 11 bucks to the downside. So plenty to look at there. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. And the first two requests, there's two requests that have come in. Let me make sure here. And, yeah, we've got, well, there's really three now. But the first two requests coming in from Tom G. Hey, Tom, thanks for writing in. And Nicholas A. And both of them would like to take a look at the semis out here. I believe that both of them are long. Yeah, SOXL for Tom. Nicholas is, what do you got there? You're also an SOXL. Okay. So let's take a look at both of those instruments that we have up on the screen. So makes sense what both Tom and Nicholas did. If we take a look at yesterday's action, yesterday was a perfect test of the swing point from January 28th. That swing point had volume of 10,955,000 shares traded. Yesterday was a test. And what I mean by a test, the high of that January 28th session is 262.07. Yesterday's low got down to a low of 261.76, and then price closed at 265.07. That is a test and then a rejection, and that is a test and rejection on lighter volume. The volume yesterday was 7.7 million versus about 11 million shares. So that was a signal that, okay, buyers don't have the energy to push it to the downside. So now where is price likely headed to? Well, you're back above the center of a slightly bullish structured profile. So I would think at this stage here, it looks like you should at least get a 2-day rally in the market. Whether we do or not, we'll find out. But that would be normal. If we're in a bearish market, then your knee-jerk reactions would be 2, 3, maybe 4 days at best to the upside. But in this case here, both Nicholas And Tom want to understand, where is it the SMHs, or I'm looking at the SMHs, they're long, it's better for us to look at this versus the triple that they're in. And likely you can take a look at that little descending trend line. Today, that descending trend line would be at approximately 286. Tomorrow would be at approximately 285. You've got top of profile resistance at the 287 level. So it looks to me like that's where the SMHs are headed, but let's not stop there. No, we've got more. And the more is, let's go to our 8-panel chart out here and see if we can provide some additional assistance to these two chaps. If we begin by taking, so here's what we're going to look at. You've got, first of all, you've got 8 different panels up here. You've got a 15-minute, I'm looking starting from the lower right and reading left, 15-minute, 30, 65, 130, 195. The reason for those time frames is they're all divisible by the 6.5-hour day. So it means that each of the candle sessions that we take a look at represent the exact same period of time. That's why I use a 65-minute chart versus a 60-minute chart, although you could use 60-minute charts. No, you couldn't. You cannot. You cannot. You have to use 65-minute charts out there, or 130. You have 330-minute sessions in the day, or 295-minute sessions in the day. Regardless of that, each of these intraday time periods, if there's going to be some type of bottom, viable bottom, which these guys have done, you'd like to see bottoming signals in those instruments for those intraday time periods. You've got it for the 15-minute. You've got it for the 30-minute. You've got it for the 65. You've got it for the 130. And you've even got it for the 195-minute chart out there. So pulling back yesterday, testing, rejecting the prior swing point with light volume says we move higher. Now, the questions are, we've identified where that's likely to be on the daily time frame by taking a look at the trend line. Now, I don't have that on this white background chart out here. What could get in the way? If we look for topping signals right now, I don't have any topping signals for any of these time frames, no topping pattern that I can see. So therefore, odds would favor, or at least the SMHs should be able to move higher out there. So I hope that helps both of you guys out there with the trade. And thanks so much for writing in. Tom went on, and as many of you, if you've listened to the show, you know Tom likes to trade the volatility product. So he is short the VIX by SVXY, and just trying to get a take as to where that might be headed to. So let's change screens here again. Let's come to our black background charts. I don't really have a VIX multi-panel screen to take a look at, but what we can do, I guess I mentioned this at the top of the hour when I did that update. Let me try to get to my VIX symbols here. So when we take a look at the VIX, we're looking at the bottom left-hand panel chart. And so, Tom, yesterday was a bearish shooting star candle. Now, typically, shooting stars either work or they don't. In this case here, it's definitely working. And I would say that if price can close below 26.21, right now you're trading at 26.22. 26.21 is the upper Bollinger Band. And if price gets down below that, odds would favor, because the shooting star has worked, headlines aside, that what the spot volatility should be doing is heading towards 50-day exponential moving average. So now, for that to happen, you and I are going to have to go take a look at the ES Mini. So we'll do that. But you've got the signal, at least, that you're looking for, which was yesterday's bearish shooting star candle. And now I'm just trying to use a parameter here, sort of parameter, that 50-to-1 Bollinger Band reading. That's where that 26.21 level came from. But if, in fact, the spot volatility is going to continue to move lower, then that would really say that the ES Mini should continue to move higher. So let's do this, Tom. When we get back from this break, let's go take a look at the ES Mini. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll put that up on the screen here for everybody inside the Tiger's Den, so you can take a look at what the ES Mini charts are telling you, and we'll review those when we get back from this break. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
So on our screen right now, we've got that 8-panel chart here for the ES Mini. The reason we're taking a look at this is Tom G is short the volatility index. And if he's going to be right on that call, being short the volatility index, what we want to see here is the ES Mini continue to move higher. So what we're looking for is some resistance levels. So first, with regard to the ES Mini, and I'll just start with the daily time frame, prices trading above that January 24th high. That January 24th high is 44.2750. So, Tom, the first thing you want to see today is for the ES Mini to at least close above that. The second thing, though, is we can see how price has stalled out at the oscillator and change line. We're printing right now at 44.47. The oscillator and change line is 44.48. So you can see how this has acted as resistance. So you really need to see price close above that. So that's the 44.48 level, not just the 44.27. Then if you get above that, where price should move to, and this would likely be an overnight trading, is at least the descending trend line, which gets you up towards the 45.34-ish type area out there. Now, obviously, what you'd be looking for is you'd want to see price take out that descending trend line, suggesting a further move higher inside the ES Mini. The 30-minute chart has a topping pattern. It's the TD9 count pattern. The TD9 count, the actual high of the bar following bar number 9, was 44.6475. The close on the next session, 44.6475. So that wasn't exceeded. You have a valid TD9 count top. So what you're looking for here intraday, just from an intraday standpoint, Tom, you're looking for a close above that level. And then, of course, you're dealing with the daily areas that you and I spoke of. You've got valid bottoming signals for each of the intraday time periods. It's just a matter of price now dealing with resistance. Turns out that resistance is really that oscillator and change line. what I consider to be a very cool tool to help you and I assess what the markets are doing for us. So I think you have to wait for the market to communicate its message. It's sitting right now at resistance. What do you do if it's still sitting here at the end of the day? I don't know, but you'll make the right decision. I'm certain of it. So thanks much for writing in. Much appreciated. Let's go to our next question out here. This way we won't get behind. This is coming in from Tim M. And Tim says, could you please take a look at Nutrien, NTR on the daily and weekly time frame, looking for a long entry? So we can. Let me do this as long as I'm on that screen. Let me just stay with this screen here. And it may take just a moment to get this to populate for all three of these, but the ticker symbol NTR. This way, what Tim and you and I can do is take a look at this. He's looking for an entry point. Let's see if there's any kind of bottom signals. No, we don't have any kind of bottom signals here. Right now, we've got a topping pattern. And that was yesterday confirmed a three-river evening star Rhodes momentum indicator top. Now, price here, Tim, is trading just above its green oscillator and change line, which is 74.01, and it's trading above the top of its daily profile. So conditions, even though it's got a top, if price closes above 74.01, that's going to put us into the neutral territory. Where's the best buy for you with this top that's in place here? We'd have to say it's the 68.11 level. That's a level that's been tested several times. That happened to be the breakout area. I don't know whether price will get back there or not. That's why we're going to look at the short-term time frame chart. So let's just duck down to the short-term time frame charts. That's a heck of a hammer candle on that 15-minute bar out there, isn't it? As price had pushed lower. Now that pushing lower was, let's see, which day was that? Was that yesterday? That was this morning. How about that? That was this morning with that push lower. And on the 30-minute chart, that's confirmed, by the way, Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. The 30-minute confirmed a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. The 65-minute price pulled back to its breakout level of 71.81 and held it. Same on the 130-minute time frame chart out here. And same on the 195. Everything coming back to their breakout levels and holding. But you're looking for something that is, you're asking about the daily and the weekly time frame out here. I'm going to go at this stage here, Tim, with hold your horses, and 68.18 or 68.11 would be the areas that I would be looking for at this moment in time. I don't have a signal right now at 1:22 in the afternoon that that's what you're going to get out here, because I don't have any topping signals on those intraday time period charts, but that's still what I would do. So I hope that helps you out in taking a look at this 8-panel screen for Nutrien, which is ticker symbol NTR. Hector writes in, Hector and Patty, happy Taco Tuesday back at you. And NVIDIA is the daily and weekly ready to buy the D point for a nice bounce. So let's answer that question a couple of different ways. NVDA, we're going to put this on our 8-panel chart. Can't really draw the A to B equals CD patterns here. We can visualize them. So what are you, NVIDIA on the daily weekly, ready to buy the D point. So that would be a pattern to the downside. So in the case of NVIDIA out here, on the daily time frame, this generated that TD9 count bottom that was on the trading day of January 24th out there. So other than that, on the weekly chart, you have a TD9 count bottom was bar number 8. That was the week of January 28th. On the monthly chart, prices holding the oscillator and change line. So those three charts, from an NVIDIA standpoint, are bullish or suggesting at least higher price. Now, higher price to where? 278.50 would be a logical spot. 285.99 would be another logical spot out there. On the intraday time periods, I don't really have a topping pattern that's present on the prior topping patterns out here. So your question was about the A to B equals CD to the downside. And again, I don't have that. Let me just switch over, Hector, here, just in case I'm missing something. So we're going to switch over to the black background charts. Let me get to that 3-panel time frame out here. And let's get up NVDA. And let's see here. Let's open this up. So certainly there was an A to B equals CD to the downside here. Let's go take a look at that. We'll type that in. But that also gave us the TD9 counts out there. So this is the likely A to B equals CD. There's several of them that you could use here, but this makes the 1 to 1.272. We get the signals that we need, and it's off to the races. Now, that confirmation, by the way, of that A to B equals CD pattern here, Hector, and I'm sure you're asking that question, that came as a result of this gap up. That was your bullish reversal candle, which was the January 31st candle session. Now, it's cool that I actually went ahead and put it to the daily time frame chart on the black background screen, because on my white ones I don't have the automated trend line resistance levels, but I do on the daily out here. So now what we know is that NVIDIA is really up against a key level of resistance. And this is a trend line that in essence began establishing up at its highs. This is NVIDIA's highs from November 22nd out there. So actually the rally could conceivably come to an end, but I don't have on the intraday charts, remember we were looking at, we don't have any kind of a topping signal. The price is most certainly at resistance out here for NVIDIA. And if it can get above this set of trend lines, you've got another one pretty much in the 271-ish type area. So really what you need to see in NVIDIA is a close above 271.53 on a weekly basis, and then that's going to suggest a move up to the 313 level. So Hector and Patty, I hope that helps you out. Yes, there was an A to B equals CD. It was confirmed out there, but that was old news. That was a couple of weeks ago. And thanks so much for writing in. Let's go out to Brent in Martinez, California. Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Steve. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for asking. And I believe it is Goldilocks that you would like to take a look at. So tell the folks what you're looking at and how I could best help you.
It's Barrett Gold is what I'm hoping you can look at. So GOLD. Yeah, a little different than not the gold contract, but the stock.
Perfect. So let's do this, Brent. I just realized we're going into a break here. I'll get Barrett Gold on the screens out here. We'll come back and we will, as Tom likes to say, bisect and dissect it with Brent from Martinez, California. We'll be right back.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're on the line with Brent in Martinez, California. We're going to go take a look at Barrick Gold. Ticker symbol there is GOLD. Trade right now at 2072. So, Brent, how can I best help you?
What I've been keying in on is on the daily chart. If you look at, there's a couple swing points. There's one from November, and there's the one from January. And the one from January, there's that longer ranging bar, but then the following day, even though it didn't close higher, it did have that wick went higher than the previous day. So that's kind of what I'm using as a swing point. And then each one of those days were surpassed from like on Friday and then yesterday with volume. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. We can look at other time frames, but that's kind of what I've been looking at. Just wanted to see what you thought about that.
Sure. So if you take a look at Barrick Gold, Brent had mentioned the November swing point. That was November 17th out there. And what you will notice, folks, is that the bar prior to that was bar number 9 of a TD9 count. So that very next session made a slightly higher high right in the top of the profile that was there. That generated a TD9 count. That went ahead and took price all the way back to a breakout level of 1765, where it generated a nice bullish hammer candle on December the 15th. Yesterday's price action was the bar following bar number 9. Very similar to the price action of November. It was also right at the TD9 count breakdown level of 2099. So what this now suggests to you and I, Brent, is that with a valid top in place, we should see the price oscillator, which is currently printed at 20, and price test each other. Now, we don't know how that's going to happen. It could be a sideways move in price while the line continues, the oscillator and change line continues to rise. We'll pull back, any type of combination of those things out there. Prices above that green oscillator and change line and above the top of the daily profile. And that means that because we have a topping signal from yesterday, the overall message for Barrick Gold is neutral. It would change if it gets below support, but it hasn't done that. It's trading above resistance, old resistance right now becoming new support. So so really not a volume issue that I see here, just more of a pattern standpoint that is taking place. Does that make sense? Any questions about that? Anything else on the daily chart that I should go back and relook at with you?
No, that's helpful. And then just as a little side note, they do have their earnings tomorrow, I think pre-market. So something to consider. So
as the daily chart, Brent, was confirming that TD9 count, the monthly chart was trading right up into the oscillator and change line. And that's what really Barrick Gold needs to be able to do. So let's say earnings come out tomorrow. It responds positively. What you're looking for is a close above 2109. If price closes above 21, and I don't mean tomorrow, I certainly mean at the end of the month. Well, we're midway through the month out here. But still, a close above 2109 would be a suggestion of a move back to 2379 or 2565. But price hitting resistance on the monthly chart and then getting a topping pattern on the daily chart, all that makes sense. The question is, hey, if earnings or gold continues to move lower, what happens to Rand Gold? Does it just pull back and test the 1986 to $20 area? If it does that, that would be the bullish test out there. I don't have any really good, clear signals on the intraday time periods out here that I see off the top of my head. Any questions about that we've shared so far?
No, it's helpful. I'm glad you provided the other on the monthly. That's something to be watching. And I have they're the March call options on it, so I do have some time, and I'm at a point where I'm doing okay. I did take some off actually the other day with that big move up, and so I'm in a position where minimal potential to be to take any kind of a hit on the thing. So.
Sure. So on the weekly chart, of course, we can just see it. That's that November 19th week that we were looking at on the daily time frame. And so that's really, and that created a little dark cloud cover candle. Not that it completed a pattern, but it did identify where some resistance is at, which is the high of that. So if it can clear that area, then that says a move up to 2230 would be likely. But even though it's got a top in place out here, I like the strength that's shown on the daily time frame with it trading above the top of its daily profile, with the trade above the green oscillator and change line, and with the volume that it had inside of it yesterday and the day before, and those nice wide-ranging bars. So it still looks pretty good, but doesn't mean that we're not going to have a timeout.
All right, Steve. Thank you so much. Have yourself a great day. Take care.
You bet. You bet. Thanks so much for calling. That was Brent in Martinez, California. So look at the Dow up 411 points right now. Let me see if we have any questions that have come in. And if we don't, well, then we'll just tool around the charts and see what we can see. So real quickly here, do we have any questions? No, we got no questions other than maybe Nordstrom's is asking me. They say, hey, Nordstrom's, they're having a spring sandal sale, folks, just in case you didn't know that. I didn't know that until I read that message. But Mike K in the Tiger's Den, he wants to take a look at EXK. So we will do that for Mike K. So let's get that up on the screen out here. We'll do that on the black background screen. EXK. Is that Endeavor Silver or something? What is EXK? It is. How about that? So if you take a look at Endeavor Silver out here, Mike, you want me to take a look at it, and it is strong. What it's doing, it's trading right up into resistance. So the resistance zone, because this is trading into a bearish structured daily profile, is going to be between the center of that profile, which is 418, and the top, which is 429. And at 429, price would run into a descending trend line. Now, if price can clear that 429 level, that descending trend line, it'll go up to its next descending trend line area in about the 490-ish range. That would be the top of its weekly profile out there. What price did do last month and this month was it's held the bottom of its monthly profile. So let me do this here. I'm going to get EXK, I should have done that earlier, up on the white background charts. And we're going to, I'll change screens. We're going to go take a look at those, just see if there's anything else out here to assist Mike. So Mike, are you in this trade, looking to get into this trade? Don't know what you're doing here. Doesn't necessarily matter. If we look at the intraday time period charts, the 195-minute chart is bullish. The 130-minute chart, you're in it. It looks like the 130-minute chart is going to form a TD9 count top by day's end. So you're in bar number 8, and bar 8 is going to close at 150. And then I don't know what time the second bar closes, the next bar, well, you just add 130 minutes to it. That would basically take us to the end of the day. So what EXK could do, Mike, is it could generate a TD9 count top for its 130-minute time frame. That would suggest price pulling back to support. Support on this thing would be somewhere around $4.02. No pattern on the 65-minute chart. Nothing on the 30-minute. Yes, it was the 130 that had that TD9 count up. Nothing on the 15-minute chart out here. On the daily, nothing else to assist us. So I think that kind of covers it here for EXK. Does look like it wants to head higher, but it is trading in that resistance zone set up by that bearish structured daily profile. And on a daily basis, going to become bar number 7. So it could form a TD9 count top between tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday of this week. No guarantee that that's what's going to happen, but that's what we're taking a look at out there. So I hope that helps you out. You're very welcome. Is there anything else inside the Tiger's Den? I don't think that there is, although we are on this chart out here. And just for the heck of it, just in honor of one of our denners, Ruby. And Ruby, did you know there's a stock name after you? Yeah, it's a Ruby out here. I was just going to put that up on the screen. I got some signals over the weekend that I was trying to form a bottom. And you can see on the daily time frame, it's got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal triggered. It's in wave number 7. That's letter G out there. I don't know what Ruby does. Maybe is this the phone answering people? I don't really know. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. When we get back to this break, we're going to go out to New Buffalo, Michigan. And we're going to take a look at New Skin with Gary. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be already paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for Dave's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to go out to the southeastern shore, I believe, of Lake Michigan to Gary, who's in New Buffalo. Gary, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing today?
Hey, great, Steve. Well, you're on the southeast, kind of. I'm on the southwest. I'm over there by Chicago. I'm one of those FIPS, you know.
Now, do you get to, Gary? Do you get dumped a lot of snow in that area in New Buffalo?
Huge amounts. We were famous in 1968 when Chicago got dumped and covered. We actually were so good at it, we brought huge amounts of equipment from our little area into Chicago to help clean their streets because we were so experienced with that. I mean, 20-some inches in a day is, I remember 3, 4, 5 times that's happened in my life over there. So
wow, that's some snow out there. Well, Newscan, one of your favorite stocks. I think you said it comes out with earnings today, tomorrow, the next day.
Tomorrow morning release, and the reason I wanted to jump in is twofold. I wasn't stepping on anybody because you didn't have much in the line, and I wanted to really pick your brain for the idea that it really didn't hit your numbers that you gave me the other day. So, and you said to call back anyways, but so obviously yes. I love getting your updates because, I get around everybody I can. So, and I appreciate all your efforts.
Sure. So in the case of Newscan, it's not really giving you much of a signal either direction. What I mean by that is I'm just looking at the daily time frame chart. The one thing we do know about the daily time frame chart is there is significant resistance at that oscillator and change line, which currently is priced at 50.74. So that's been the blockade, so to speak. If price can get above that, then you're looking at $54. As far as to the downside, it's still trading with inside that profile. So the support level to the downside would be 48.02. If price were to break through 48.02, after earnings release in the morning, then that would be signaling to move to the 44.46 level. If price is above 50.72, signals moving to 54. If price is between 50.72 and 48.02, it's just this little sideways-ish consolidation is likely to continue. If I look at the weekly time frame chart, that's got the TD9 count top, but all price was able to do was push back and test support, which is the oscillator and change line. It happens to be red. If we were to close below that red oscillator and change line, that's a more bearish tone to it, but it hasn't done that. It's held it. So now what you really have here, Gary, is kind of a neutral signal on the weekly time frame, somewhat of a neutral-ish type signal on the daily time frame, and the monthly's not really helping us out. And on the intraday charts, I don't see anything that's assisting us either. So I almost wonder if Nu Skin is not going to do a whole lot tomorrow after earnings. And I don't know what its the implied volatility is on this instrument here, what its typical moves might be. But you're really you're in neutral territory.
Good. That's what I needed to hear. I mean, just because to get that range. What is that oscillator and change line, the red line at right now?
Well, so on the weekly, it's at 48.93. And on the daily, so the weekly's red, the daily's green, and the daily is at 50.74. So those are really your numbers there.
Okay. Now I got it. So just an update for what it's worth, and I know this is more, fundamental, but
sure.
It just came out over the weekend, but actually in the last week, but I caught it over the weekend that State Street Capital just announced a 13G filing on it. They bought 12.6%. They don't have much float. They only have 49 million share float. And they historically, interesting, I've been watching the price obviously every day, and the interesting thing is historically they've had a couple moves like this where on earnings they kind of just go back and forth and they come down a little bit, but on earnings, then they'll pop. The one time they popped 10 points. Another time that they did it not that long ago where they were rising into earnings and they rose a couple points into earnings, and then earnings came out and within a day or two some article got written and they were down 10 points. So it's interesting because they do have a lot of volatility, implied volatility with this stock because of the lack of amount of shares that are out there, I think, as much as anything. And now this is probably good, intensifying that with the big investment by State Street Capital. In the case of State Street, and whether they're done buying their position or not, if I were on the State Street team, I would likely have my open to buy orders in the 47.71, 48.02 level, and worst case would be 42.92. Each of those, Gary, are bottoms of profile. 48.02 bottom of the daily, 47.71 bottom of the weekly, 42.92 bottom of the monthly charts out there. So you've got some support. That's where the real support levels are. But right now the signals are kind of neutral. So I'm just wondering, maybe tomorrow's kind of a nothing burger, so to speak. Be interesting to see. Thanks so much. I love you, man. You're the best, and I appreciate everything you do. Be well.
I appreciate that. Was Gary in New Buffalo, Michigan. We've got another question that's come in. Let's get to this. This is from Eddie in Boca. And Eddie says, I'm happy about the rally, but the volume on the Qs is dismal. Same with Apple, though it is higher. So I'm going to switch off of this set of charts out here, folks. And we're going to go to the black background charts. That way we can follow along with Eddie. And Eddie was mentioning the QQQ, so I'm going to put in Apple, AAPL, and then I'm actually going to go switch over to the Qs. So here are the Qs, and the real issue with the Qs, Eddie, so you're talking about light volume. Light volume is actually what bulls want to see, at least today, inside of the QQQ series ETF. And right now the volume is 35 million shares. The reason that I say that, Eddie, is because yesterday and the day before, price closed back inside the January 24th swing point. Now, the low has not been tested. That's at 334.15. But price got back inside there. Now, the volume there was nearly 200 million shares. Yesterday's volume on the pushback was with 80 million shares. I mean, that's like 40% of the volume out there. Today, you're at 35 million shares. But if price can close above 353.98, and you right now are at 354.49 or 52, I mean, it keeps obviously changing out there, then you will have a test and rejection of a key swing point on lighter volume, and that will suggest a move higher. Now, in the case of the Qs, the move higher may just be up to the most recent swing point high from February 9th, and that might just get you to the 366 to the 362 level. So you say you're happy about the rally, but the volume on the Qs is dismal. You want the volume on the Qs to be dismal, and you want to see price close above 353.98. So that's what you're really looking for. Now back to the Apple. Let's go see what Apple is doing. So in the case of Apple, much stronger than the overall Qs. What I mean by that, it didn't get anywhere near its swing point low. I assume this is also January 24th. Yes, it is. So I really don't have much to show here. So I guess moving over the black background charts for Apple didn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's okay. Stevie's got a fix for that. And that fix for that is, let's go to those 8-panel charts and see if we can figure out what Apple might be communicating to Eddie. And at this stage here, where the counter trend rally has ended happens to be the top of its daily profile. And this is the case of Apple, which is in the 171.87 level. Price is also traded right up in that green oscillator and change line. So you'd really like to see it close above both of those. So if you get Apple to close above 171.87, you've got a further move higher. That further move higher again back to the swing point from probably the February 9th level. And that's between 174.90 and 176.65 out there. So Eddie, good observations. But that observation is what it is you want if you are going to be long the QQQ series ETF. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
So we were talking about the Qs and Apple as we went into the breakout there, and I've got the weekly chart here for the NQ up on my screen. And in this case, I'm just going to turn price off. It'll be a little bit easier for you to follow along with me. So there's a new profile that is attempting to form. So I say attempting to form because I'm using my advanced Doppler tool out there that identifies profiles before they actually take hold. Now, it's identifying them. This is where the buyers and sellers are set up. The buyers right now are set up at 14,001, and the sellers are located at 15,773. Now, the center is much closer to the bottom than it is to the top. The center is at 14,592. On a weekly basis, if you were to get a close above 14,592, odds favor that buyers should be able to push price up to the 15,773 level. That's not really why I'm showing you this profile. I'm showing you this profile because this profile is suggesting to you and I right now, should it form, we won't know till Sunday evening, that to prepare for a consolidation move. That's what the NQ is telling us. The reason it's telling us about a consolidation is because this profile wraps completely around the other profile. The high is above the prior high, the low is below the prior low out there. So this is really a message of a consolidation. Doesn't mean that's what has to happen. Doesn't mean this profile is going to form like that. But at 1:55 in the afternoon, that's the message out here. So to the downside, in order to really get bearish out here, you need to see it close below 14,001. Now the profile may change a couple different times. It's only Tuesday between now and Sunday evening, but we go with what we've got out there. So that's what makes that high from last Monday. That's at the 14. Was that? I don't know if that was Monday's high. I think that was that the high for the. No, that was not Monday's high. Monday's high was 14,582. So if pricing closes above really 14,582, that gets us above the center of that profile out there at 14. No, it doesn't. 14,592 is the number for that, the weekly profile. Just be aware. The message of the NQ, the week indice out here, is one that says prepare for a consolidation. At least that's the message on February 15th at 1:56 in the afternoon. Folks, stay tuned. You've got 2 more great hours up next. Or up. Yeah, you got David White, your favorite polar bear. Tom O'Brien, he'll take us on home. I'll be back with you on Wonderful Wednesday. Have a terrific Tuesday, folks.